Thank you all for being here. I was a little afraid that we might have a semi-empty hall this morning, but it looks like there's plenty of you. Do you feel like plenty? This is a very special day. Gerald and Hudson and Sai have been busily sewing a raksu, a Buddha's robe, over the past couple months and studying the precepts and preparing for this day, this very special Dharma gate of receiving the precepts, which in our lineage is the gateway to a lifetime of practice. In Mahayana Buddhism, we make a big emphasis on Buddha nature. We say that everyone has the heart of a Buddha. Everyone is a Buddha. And when we think about that, teaching is pretty radical. It means even the people that you kind of think are a jerk also has the Buddha nature. And when we think about it in that way, there's a tendency for us to think about Buddha nature as something that we might have, but that we forget about and that needs to get polished. So there's a lot of images in Buddhism of Buddha nature being like a jewel, and the jewel is embedded, sometimes the image is in our chest or sometimes in our head, and that our job as followers of the Buddha is to try to clean off that jewel and to polish it and to keep doing that for a whole lifetime so that the light of that jewel can shine through rather than our deluded nature or our jerky nature, which we all also have. And it's good for us to think about it that way. And the precepts are about that. They give us some way of thinking about how is my living. One thing that happens in spiritual practice is it's very easy to get transfixed on spiritual experience, which again is very important. Without spiritual experience, we can't really find a path other than kind of listening to someone else's instruction. So we have to develop the capacity for deep and profound religious experience, understanding, spiritual insight. But as we become transfixed on that, oftentimes we don't think very much about how we live. We get a little greedy for the fantastic. And then when it comes down to how do I treat the people who are close to me, for example, I kind of forget about it. Hakuin Zenji, one of the great teachers of Zen in Japan, he has a really fun song about practice that he used to. Apparently, he would dance through the street with a skull on the end of the stick, and he would sing this song. And there's a beautiful line in this. I remember reading when I was a young husband and father, and became so important to me. He said, when you're out in the world, you have the face of a bodhisattva, but at home, you let your hair, your nose hair grow long. He's kind of chiding everybody that this is the way that we tend to live. And so precepts help us do that polishing, help us remember to cut our nose hair, which I oftentimes forget. I apologize. But this is only one way to understand the precept. And if you spend some time with the precepts that way, they might start smelling a little funny to you. Smelling a little bit too much like you're going to become a great person. You're going to become a perfect person in some way. That your power is what's going to save you and the rest of the world, which there's nothing quite as annoying as that. I mean, the guy who cuts you off on the highway, you know, is a jerk. But the person who's like spiritually superior is like a maha jerk. And we're all given to that in some way, our own kind of inflation about our importance. And so there's another way we can understand this teaching of Buddha nature. And the founder of this particular school of Buddhism in Japan, Dogen Zenji, he emphasized this very strongly. He said, it's not that we have Buddha nature. He said that we are Buddha nature. that our being itself is the awakening of Buddha embodied. And it's not something we can find hidden inside of things, but it is the great truth appearing as things, as phenomena that are not separate from us in any way at all. So we switch the language there a little bit and think not of having Buddha nature, but of being Buddha nature, then another gateway of practice starts to appear. The gateway of paying attention to things as they are, as teachers, no matter what they are. So in this way of practice, we don't try to find a jewel that's hidden inside of things, but we pay attention to what it is that we're meeting in this moment. So yesterday, after these two very kind of too hot of days, you know, to spring on us all of a sudden, but that's how it was. And I was coming over here to we're having this retreat, and I came over here to the Engal when I was going to come inside, and Joichi stepped up on the edge of the deck, the Engal here, and he pointed. He said, look, the figs. And you look up, and there's a little fig leaf. You know, these amazing, these fig leaves, because they look exactly the same when they're this big as when they're this big. But when they're little like this, they're kind of translucent, so the light can come through, and the sun was going down. And so it was like seeing glass in the sky there at the tips of the branches. Now that's a kind of easy place to think, Buddha nature, it is constantly revealing itself to us. But there's also the nitty-gritty. There's the nose hairs. There's faithful relationship with others. There's faithful relationship with yourself. There's faithful relationship with the world of material phenomena. And so in this teaching of Buddha nature, whatever it is that we see with our eyes or our ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, heart, anything that we encounter through a sensory world, any phenomena, is about a Buddha meeting a Buddha. The precepts point us towards that. Do not discuss faults. One of the hardest precepts. Do not discuss faults. In what way must you meet other beings to be able to live that way, where you don't put your center of gravity in fault? Now, are the orderlies today going to discuss faults of others after the ceremony? I bet it will not take more than 10 minutes. In their head, you know? But that's not the point. The point is that where's our center of gravity? What do we have faith in? What do we rely on? What do we come back to again and again? And this is the nature of a precept. It's not a behavioral regulatory device. It is like a gateway that we actually meet with every being that we meet. Human, animal, every rock, every gum wrapper, these engines they put on these big trucks these days, everything is that gateway. How will I meet it? That becomes the question of a student of the way. So as I started by saying, these orderlies have been preparing the past few months, and indeed they've been preparing for a very long time. In our tradition, we would say that it's unlikely that this is the first lifetime in which they have encountered the Dharma. Take that as you fits into your way of thinking about living. It's unlikely that this is the first time that we have all met. And the fact that it's hard for us to remember in our conscious mind makes it no less true. And so I invite you today to honor these three who are receiving precepts with the spirit that this is something which we've all been engaged in for a long time. Which brings me to the ceremony itself. which will seem like a long time. This may be, I don't even know how long it is. It's just as long as it needs to be. But to participate in it in a way that will be the most meaningful and the most supportive to your own spiritual life, I invite you to think of it as a meditation rather than a series of things that are going to happen, where you're kind of asking yourself, what's happening next, what's happening next, what's happening next. To just stay with what is happening and let the meaning come through you. Some things will make sense, many things won't make sense. That's okay. It's not just okay, it's actually, that's how it's supposed to be. And you will receive from that whatever it is that you receive from it. And then as you participate simply with your awareness or in any parts of the chants that you'd like to participate in, your enactment also then becomes a support of all of us, particularly those who are walking through this gate today. So I'll leave here in a moment and change my robes, and we'll begin the ceremony. So there'll be a short break. Again, thank you everyone for coming, and so glad that it's cool this morning.
And I think at this point, those 4 reserved seats, the 2 in the second row, are kind of up for grabs. I'm supposed to get move forward so that we feel really supported by our presence.
Yeah. Well, when we did say, they were talking about these seats. They originally had the reserve. All these are. Well,
Homage to all the Buddhas. Homage to all the Dharmas. Homage to all the Sanghas. Homage to our original teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha. Homage to all the Bodhisattva ancestors. I pray that you will all come here as witness. Let us recite the names of Buddha. You will be known in the Dharma as Chokai, direct meeting. You will be known in the Dharma as Kosei, warm sincerity. You will be known in the Dharma as Zenki, whole spirit. Let us recite the robe verse. Take the precepts, you should first perform Sangha, atonement. There is a Sangha verse that has been maintained by the Buddhas. By reciting it, your past wrongdoings lose their hold on you. Repeat after me. All my past and harmful
Through body, speech, and
You have cleansed your body, speech, and mind and become pure by the power of atonement. You should take refuge in the three treasures of Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. When refuge is taken, the three merits are complete. No something sui bong zi sing xin no something sui bong zi sing xin no something sui bong zi sing xin. Repeat after me. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in the unsurpassed Buddha. I take refuge in the immaculate Dharma. I take refuge in the harmonious Sangha. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. I take refuge take refuge in Sangha. Now you have left behind your past misdeeds and taken refuge in the triple treasure. From this time, the Buddha and true enlightenment are your true teachers. Call the Buddha your master. This is my compassion to you. You have received the precepts of the three treasures. Now you should receive the 3 pure precepts and 10 grave precepts. 3 pure precepts. Embracing codes and forms. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing codes and forms. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing codes and forms. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing good dharmas. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing good dharmas. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing good dharmas. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing living beings. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing living beings. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Embracing living beings. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? These are the 3 pure precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? These are the 3 pure precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not? These are the 3 pure precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not? Next are the 10 grave precepts. First precept, not killing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? First precept, not killing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? First precept, not killing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Second precept, not stealing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Second precept, not stealing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Second precept, not stealing. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Third precept, not misusing sexuality. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Third precept, not misusing sexuality. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Third precept, not misusing sexuality. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Fourth precept, not speaking falsely. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Fourth precept, not speaking falsely. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Fourth precept, not speaking falsely. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Fifth precept, not dealing in intoxicants. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Fifth precept, not dealing in intoxicants. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Fifth precept, not dealing in intoxicants. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Sixth precept, not discussing faults. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Sixth precept, not discussing faults. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Sixth precept, not discussing faults. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Seventh precept, not praising self and criticizing others. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Seventh precept, not praising self and criticizing others. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Seventh precept, not praising self and criticizing others. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Eighth precept, not being stingy with Dharma or wealth. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Eighth precept, not being stingy with Dharma or wealth. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Eighth precept, not being stingy with Dharma or wealth. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Ninth precept, not being angry. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Ninth precept, not being angry. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? Ninth precept, not being angry. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not?
I
10th precept, not disparaging the triple treasure. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? 10th precept, not disparaging the triple treasure. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? 10th precept, not disparaging the triple treasure. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain this precept or not? These are the 10 grave precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not? These are the 10 grave precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not? These are the 10 grave precepts. From this present state to that of becoming a Buddha, will you maintain these precepts or not? Maintain them as stated. Receiving Buddha's precepts, entering the rank of the awakened ones, equal to great enlightenment. Truly you are children of Buddha. Receiving Buddha's precepts, entering the rank of the awakened ones, equal to great enlightenment. Truly you are children of all Buddhas. Receiving Buddha's precepts, entering the rank of the awakened ones, equal to great enlightenment. Truly you are children of all Buddhas. At this time, in all the Buddha lands of the 10 directions, auspicious signs appear. The earth trembles and flowers fall. The bodhisattvas of other worlds ask their Buddha what this means, and the Buddhas reply that in the world of suffering, among those who are heir to the Dharma of Shakyamuni Buddha, people of faith have given rise to a serious intention. They have been converted to the truth and have received the pure great precepts of the bodhisattvas from the preceptor who previously received them through the line of Shakyamuni's heirs. In a future age, they will become Buddhas through this merit. It is for this reason that the universe rejoices. In every Buddha land, these miraculous signs have appeared. Upon hearing this explanation, the bodhisattvas bow toward you, saying, "If this is so, you are the same as we, fellow travelers on the way." Hence, with all Buddhas as preceptors and with the bodhisattvas as your friends, you are able to receive these precepts. Their merit is indestructible and secure. This is the precept that never ages and never decays. I pray that you may never lose it and that you always maintain and keep it. Although there are causes and conditions for every circumstance partakes of the Dharma body. How could there be a realm where the precept does not apply? Who shall dedicate this merit? With what and to whom shall this merit be dedicated? Although there is a giver and receiver, the three wheels are completely pure. There is nothing to be wished for. Let us preserve our good karmic roots and together with all sentient beings make a dedication of merit that is equally shared to supreme and perfect awakening. Abiding in this ephemeral world like a lotus in muddy water, the mind is pure and goes beyond. Thus we